for today is entitled Job Analysis and Job Evaluation Webinar. And it's just a 30 minutes webinar. And we would like to share with you how you can go through about the job analysis and job evaluation. So let us start. The difference between job analysis and job evaluation: when we do job analysis, it is more of determining the duties, the skills, the requirements of a job, and the kind of person who should be hired for it. While in job evaluation, we deal about the different levels that we wanted to determine inside the organization. So sa job evaluation, this is where we know also yung salary levels na appropriate para doon sa iba't ibang klaseng trabaho. And the product of job analysis are job descriptions and job specifications. Sometimes napagkakamalian yung difference ng job description at saka job specifications. They thought na pareho itong dalawang ito. But job specifications are more aligned with the competency requirements for the output that you are expecting. While job description is more detailed with the tasking and the activities that we need to do. So sa job analysis, we need to collect data or information like work activities, human behaviors, machines, tools, equipments used, at saka yung mga work aids like kung kailangan ba may helmet, kailangan bang may mga protective gears for the position. And also performance standards. Usually, performance standards are the targets, the quality of output expected from the worker. And job context is yung coverage ng kanilang trabaho, who they will be working with, and sino din yung kanilang mga makaka-interface sa kanilang trabaho. And human requirements, usually these are the soft skills. Ito yung mga medyo mga criteria on the type of behavior required for the position, or yung mga attitudes towards the people they work with. Teamwork, or mga kailangan nila, they share with the different units or different groups, or should they be working on their own? So, yun yung mga ating na-expect. For job analysis, ang mga information uses niya is for recruitment and selection. With job analysis, kasi may job specifications ka na, you can now determine kung ano yung minimum requirements needed for specific position. And as for the compensation, usually this comes in when you do the job evaluation. But we have a general knowledge as well kung ano yung levels ng position or yung task required for the position. The same case with performance appraisal. If you know the activities, the desired output, then it will be easy for us to determine kung ano naman yung mga targets and performance indicators necessary for the position. Okay, so sa training, in training, we need to also use yung ating duties and responsibilities and job specifications to determine naman their training needs. If you are going to come out with trainings, kailangan na specified din kung ano yung hindi pa nila alam na skills. And discovering unassigned duties, or meron kasi mga hindi nakasama sa ating job description. So in discovering unassigned duties, tendency is they will have to write in yung mga hindi pa nakasama doon sa job description. Pero of course, we always have this clause na other related tasks or functions not indicated in your job descriptions. And for cases that we wanted to promote people, sometimes we give them yung mga higher qualifications or higher tasks, and hindi na naka-indicate yun sa mga job descriptions. The purpose of the job descriptions is just a guide for the employee to know ano ba talaga yung mga expectations sa kanya. But it should not limit kung ano yung kanilang perform inside the organization. And employment compliance, kailangan kasi may signed job description sa ating mga 201 files. Now, the steps in job analysis, okay. As for the steps in job analysis, wait I'll share first this. Okay. Can you see now the PowerPoint? And so for the steps in job analysis, first, we have to decide how you'll use the information. Ano ba yung purpose ng gagawin nating job analysis? Just to determine ano yung functions na ipe-perform ng employees. Then we also need to know yung relevant background and information ng mga pagbibigyan natin ng mga ideas about the job analysis. And then select representative positions, actually analyze the job, verify the job analysis information, and develop a job description and job specification. Now, isa-isahin natin. Decide how you'll use the information. Job analysis can be done regularly, hindi lang one time. Kasi sa job analysis, there are some informations that you need to know and you need to put into writing. So, hindi lahat yon isi-share natin yung information na yon. We limit it kung ano yung talagang kailangan lang natin i-put into writing. Like, for instance, yung mga trabaho ng mga clerks, it's not necessary that you come out with a job analysis for it. And then yung regular job analysis natin is, it can be done if there are new positions or if you feel na marami ng job descriptions na hindi updated. So, when you review relevant background information naman, it's understanding the scope of their job functions. Yung different tasks and the different informations required, the different equipments required, like what we've mentioned earlier. Balikan natin yung mga background information that we've mentioned earlier. These are the information. Work activities, human behaviors, machine, tools, equipment, and work aid na ginagamit, performance standards, job context, and human requirements. Now, what else? So, yung select representative positions, sometimes we have different positions pero the same title. If you are going to determine ano yung mga, kung i-generic mo yung iyong job descriptions, at what level? Will it be at the mid or yung beginner's level or at the senior level? Usually, we come out with a generic job descriptions. And then we analyze the job and verify those informations that we gathered. And then that's the time we do the job description and job specification. So, there are different approach in job analysis. One is interview. So, ang information sources for interview, it can be done na one-on-one individuals, or it can be by groups of employees or supervisors with knowledge about the job. Yung mga talagang gamay na nila yung trabaho kahit nakapikit na sila. Now, about the structured checklist, yung interview formats, meron kasi na pwedeng nakalista na lahat ng mga functions or tasks ng isang empleyado. Then, i-check na lang ng ating HR practitioner or whoever is the interviewer. At meron din naman na unstructured na one-on-one. They just talk like as if they are just having a chat. Pero, ang approach nito should be directed na approach. Kasi if you go with unstructured, the disadvantage of this approach, maliligaw mauuwi sa kwentuhan. So, hindi na ma-maximize yung time. Pero ang maganda lang dito, it's done in a relaxed manner, kaya mas marami kang information na makukuha. Then, sometimes, pag unstructured, distorted ang information. Kasi may mga meron tayong interviewers who cannot really point out ano yung mga salient points or important points in the interview. So, ang advantage naman, mabilis ito. You don't need to find yung talagang venue pa na malaki to do the interview, you can do it mismo doon sa work venue. Okay. So, interview guidelines. So, the job analyst and supervisor should work together to identify the workers who know the job best. Then, quickly establish rapport with the interviewee, and then follow the structured guide or the checklist kung meron tayo, and then you write down the duties in order. Pwede namang ano siya, parang nakalista lang siya, pero i-organize na lang siya ng interviewer before coming out with the final result. Kumbaga, ipaprocess niya rin muna yung data na nag-gather niya. After completing the interview, you will have to review and verify the data that you've gathered. One, pwede kang nag-interview ka sa workers. Then, verify and validate mismo doon sa manager or supervisor of that employee. Okay. So, meron ding questionnaires. This is very similar to interview. Ang difference lang, pagka sa questionnaire, pwedeng paupuin mo na lahat ng mga employees and then you give an orientation on how to answer the questionnaires. After this training, we will give you a copy of this PowerPoint and we will also send you a copy of the questionnaire that we have developed para meron na kayong tool na magamit. It's structured, it's open-ended questions, so pwedeng essay, pwedeng multiple choices. Ang disadvantage lang nito, sometimes you need to spend some money on the questionnaires, like on printing, or if you are going to gather them, everybody, yung mga employees, if you are going to gather them, then you'll have to prepare at least snacks, so that they'll be motivated to come to your meeting for the questioning. Okay, but this is also quick and efficient way of gathering information for identified na positions. Okay, so we receive an inquiry here. This type of file can harm your computer. Those who are coming in, William, paki-answer na lang. It's not really harmful kasi wala namang virus yung sa online. Okay, so let's go back. Another type of job analysis is observation. So in observation, kailangan very keen ang ating observer. Marunong siyang tumingin sa mga activities. So, pero bago siya mag-observe, sometimes they have to prepare data. Kumbaga, ano yung process sa pag-o-observe. Alam na niya dapat meron na siyang pre-observation na studies na ginawa. Meron na siyang sinusundang process, chine-check niya na lang, binavalidate niya na lang kung accurate ba yung mga data na yon. So, ang information source natin in observing is sometimes physical activities na on the spot sila na nagwo-work, and sometimes it can be just observing the operations on the work site. So, first-hand information and then hindi maliligaw yung mga interviewees or yung observers. Kapag ka nag-observe sila, walang influencer sa kanila. Kasi pagka-interview, pwede pa silang masway ng mga sinasabi ng mga ini-interview nila. But if they are observing, direct information ang makukuha nila. Now, disadvantage, it's time-consuming and you need a researcher to do this para hindi ikaw mismo yung mag-take time or spend time on watching what they are doing. Okay. So, other types is the logs, the logbook, participants' diary. So, usually, ito naman pinapagawa natin, yung mga day-to-day na what did they accomplish yung sa kanilang daily activities. Sometimes it comes in progress reports, pero others, they do it as logs or logbooks. So, advantages is it produces more complete picture of the job and there's also employee participation. Ang disadvantage lang din, yun nga, the distortion of the information and sometimes employees tend to influence yung sino yung writer ng job descriptions. Okay. So, meron namang quantitative job analysis techniques. We usually call it the PAQ or Position Analysis Questionnaire. Sometimes we collect yung mga questions, quantifiable questions to use, tapos yun yung pinapasagutan sa mga employees. Pero medyo technical na yan, mahirap nang i-discuss during this 30 minutes webinar. So, it can be discussed sa mga interventions namin sa inyo or in another training. Now, functional job analysis, we take into account naman yung mga instructions. So, if you have process manuals, dun mo kukunin ngayon yung mga job specifications and job task descriptions natin. Okay? So, example lang ng format of a job analysis schedule. Makikita ninyo dito sa form na ito yung established job title, tapos individual assigned, kanino nagre-report, and then ano yung pinaka-title mismo or yung job title ng tao. Okay? So, as for the job summary, usually ito yung pinaka-main description na inilalagay natin sa job description. And work performed ratings, sometimes it's yung kanilang grading system. We use KPIs, key performance indicators. And then what are the traits that should be mentioned? So with this form, medyo ito kasi gamit sa manufacturing. But there are other forms na pwede nating magamit. Okay? So we also have quantitative job analysis techniques. Sa quantitative na na-mention natin, meron tayong tinatawag dito na sections of a typical job description. So, yung mga mga parts of the job description, job identification, job summary, responsibilities and duties, and authority of incumbent standards, and working conditions, yung mga specifications. Now, to be more specific, para mas maintindihan natin itong part na ito, isa-isay natin how to go through about it. So, sa job identification, what you will see there is yung job title. Then, ano yung coverage ng kanilang mga trabaho. Sometimes, pwedeng wag nang isama itong prepared by whom, pero preparation date when, pwedeng hindi na siya kasama. Then, job summary is the general picture of the functions of that job. Okay, so yung mga major functions niya. Relationship is kanino siya reporting at kanino siya nakikipagtrabaho. And then, responsibilities and duties. These are the listings of the job majors' responsibilities and duties. And standard occupational classifications. Ito naman kung sila ba ay rank and file, supervisory, or managerial. So, ano yung mga descriptions ng levels nila. In writing the job specifications naman, specifications for trained personnel, sometimes they focus on traits like length of previous service, quality of relevant training, and previous job performance. Ito yung sinusulat natin na at least a year experience on the same field, o kaya naman ay beginners are acceptable, tapos ano yung field of expertise nila, socials ba, manufacturing ba, sa credit and savings ba. Then, specifications for untrained personnel naman, sometimes we focus more on the personality, yung traits nila, yung interest nila, or yung kanilang mga soft skills. Okay. So, writing job specifications based on judgment, pwedeng madalas ito yung ginagawa natin. What we observe, what we think should be done, or what is needed for the job. Then another approach is pwede naman na statistical analysis. Titignan mo ngayon kung ano yung pinaka-major part ng kanilang trabaho, yun yung uunahin mo sa job specifications. Kung ano yung pinaka-mabigat nilang trabaho, where do they spend more time? Kung lesser yung time spent on some functions or some activities, then it goes at the latest part, yung pinaka-huling part ng job descriptions. So, yung steps in statistical approach, analyze the job and decide how to measure job performance. Select personal traits that you believe should predict successful performance. Test candidates for these traits, measure the candidate's subsequent job performance, and statistically analyze the relationship between the human trait and the job performance. Okay, so medyo technical yung description nitong statistical approach. When you say statistical approach, to simplify it, ibig sabihin lang, ano yung measurable out of their functions. Let's say they need to release OR, how many? Ilang OR ang kailangan nilang i-release in a day. Yun. Iko-convert mo siya into a quantifiable determinant para doon sa pagdidetermine ng mga KPI. So, para mas madali nating maintindihan, this is an example of a job description. If you will see, meron tayo ditong position title. Saang department nagre-report. Reports kanino? Sinong manager? Sino ang coordinators niya? Okay. Sino yung coordinators niya? And then, sino yung mga taong katrabaho niya? Sa employees of the cooperatives, members of the cooperative, then anong levels? Rank and file, supervisory, anong branch, anong working status, full-time, or Monday to Saturday. Ilang travel, ilang percent. So, you will see here. And dito yung pinaka-objectives, pinaka-general description, and then we have here the activities, tapos the performance measures. I'll give you a copy of this. Okay? So, next, dito naman sa part na to, yung sa job specification. Minimum job requirements or education requirements, yung work experience, training required, knowledge, skills, and abilities. I think we've run out of the 30 minutes, but if you want to continue this, tuloy na lang natin. So those who are rushing can leave the window, the meeting room, but those who can still stay, will continue with this kasi this is somehow recorded, and then we will share this video. Okay, so for the purpose of job evaluation, internal equity, is it fair for everybody who is working within the organization having the salary that they have right now? External competitiveness means pagka kinompare mo ba yung bookkeeper salary inside your organization, do they have the same salary with those bookkeepers outside of the organization? So sometimes, dapat i-compare mo siya sa the same industries. And then in job evaluation, you focus on the job content. And then the ranks, you also use job evaluation to determine the different ranks. So I'll go fast with this. We'll skip the purpose because we've mentioned naman that job evaluation is for you to determine the different levels of the job. Ano yung kanilang salary that they need to receive. And then also, kung may nag-overlap ba na trabaho, we do the job evaluation para walang repetition of functions. Okay? So, we also do job evaluation to determine kung fit ba yung employee who's occupying the position with the job descriptions that we have. And also to help the HR department. Okay, next is, we've mentioned that already. Ito yung steps sa or process sa job evaluation. Sometimes in job evaluation, akala nila, it's more of, ini-evaluate mo yung tao. But not really. What you're evaluating is the value of the work. So you need to gain acceptance para makipag-cooperate sila. Then, you create a job evaluation committee. Usually, yung job evaluation committee is composed of managers who are very familiar with the job functions. And key positions, you do job evaluation for supervisorial positions or managerial positions or any position that is very important to the operation. Kasi if you do job evaluations, maraming time ang kakainin nito. This cannot be done overnight. So it needs time to do it properly. And part of the job evaluation is the job analysis. That's why we started with job analysis, kasi we'll use the information gathered sa job analysis in job evaluation. And then creating or development of the job description and then the job levels. Okay, so there are 3 types of job evaluation. Ranking yung pinakamadali. Sa ranking, you just have to say first, second, third, and fourth level. Ibig sabihin, i-arrange mo lang sila based on the importance of the positions. This can be done kung 10 lang yung position mo. But if it's more than 10, then you need to use a different approach in job evaluation. We usually do this. Sa job ranking, yung CEO, COO usually comes at the highest level, the highest rank. And then next, followed by the branch managers, this, and then the supervisors, and then the rank and files. So that's ranking. Now, classification, you classify them based on executives, skilled workers, semi-skilled workers, or unskilled workers. Ang difference nito sa ranking, parang in basket. There is a basket for every position. If you will notice, in the executive or class 1 position, covered dito ang office managers and even departmental supervisors, lalo na kung malaki ang organizations. Okay? So, sa ranking, usually ang makikita mo is like this. Yung mga top management have higher salary and pay grade. Ang technical experts is next, and then the middle management or the branch managers are the next level. So that is classification. Ini-inbox mo na sila, pinapass mo na sila sa box where they can be classified. Now, for the factor comparison, ito yung mahirap gawin because you need to do some scoring. Ito yung merong scores of 500 for the factors that you considered important. Bigay tayo ng example. Yan yung scores, no? Example natin, do you give more values dito sa knowledge and skills or do you give more values dun sa responsibilities? If you are going to score these things, okay, so if you score, wait, I'll go back. Okay, so if you score yung sa responsibilities, so if you score dun sa responsibilities as more important than the knowledge and skills, then you can give a score of 1,000 for the responsibilities. Distributed siya dito sa 5. Maaring 200 ang highest scores for item number 1, responsibility for and consequences error, or pwede naman na 200 distributed dito sa 5. Pwede naman din na halimbawa, you scored ng 500 for knowledge skills, yan, experience and training requirements, judgment, complexity, independence of action. Then you can give 500 or 300 depending on your value given to these different factors. So we have factors like effort, pwede mo ring tingnan. Meron ding factors about the working conditions. So this is another item. Siguro we'll offer a free webinar on how we can do the factor analysis. Now for the advantages and disadvantages, we will skip that for each category because we've spent more than 30 minutes already. And then we will just invite you for the next sessions of webinars. So for now, if you have any questions, we will entertain questions through your chat first. You can just send a message. And I will unmute as well your audio. I-unmute po namin kayo. Okay, so if you have any question, you can raise your question now.
Okay, question.
Wait. Who's that? Can you type? Sino yung nag-question? First question, please. Type your name here. Sa chat. Okay. Questions? Anyone? So I'm trying to unmute everybody. So, kung wala namang question,
Editor mo, gawas kini mo pangalan mo.
sige. Walang gusto mag-start?
Yes, may question kami sa Valenzuela Development Company.
Okay, sure. Fire away.
Ma'am, regarding po sa multitask, for example.
Okay.
Yan, paano namin siya
Okay. So, ang suggestion ko, kung multitasking ang lahat ng employees niyo, ang gawin niyo sa job description, task description. Ang ganito. I-mute ko muna po yung lahat na. So, okay, so Valenzuela lang muna ang in-unmute ko. Okay, so kung multitasking ang trabaho po natin, ang suggestion ko is you just write down yung pinaka-tasking doon sa operations. Hatiin nyo. Halimbawa, cashiering. Sa cashiering, ano yung mga activities? Ano yung mga functions doon sa cashiering? Tapos, halimbawa naman sa credit analysis or credit, ano ba yung natin doon? Credit functions. Yung, halimbawa doon sa credit initiation, ano yung mga task na yon? Then, anyone, kung 5 lang yung mga empleyado natin, then anyone can look at those tasks and functions. Yun ang i-perform nila if assigned sila doon sa function na yun on that day. Ang mahirap kung chapsuy, tatlo-tatlo yung hinahandle niya. Doon mahirap yun. Ang kailangan na lang, i-review mo kung ano yung mga nag-overlap na functions, mag-job analysis ka, i-analyze mo ano yung nag-overlap. Gusto mo ba na yung mga functions na nag-overlap i-assign sa isang tao? Or you would rather that tatlo silang nagtatrabaho doon sa mga functions na nag-overlap?
Okay. Okay, yun lang po. Thank you.
Okay, salamat din po. Meron pa pong mga questions? Anyone else? So, thank you sa Valenzuela Development Cooperative sa kanilang question. Meron pa pong gustong magtanong?
Ma'am.
Okay po. Can I get your name po? Hindi po. Sino po yung gusto pong magtanong? Kung wala na po, if you have a question.
J-Yellow J-Yellow. Withdraw, ano ba?
Nasa puso ko man.
Passbook.
Wala na pong question. I'd like to share sana yung reading materials or yung PowerPoints ninyo. Can you message sa sino po padala ko yung
Yes po, Ma'am Rose.
share ko po sa inyo yung ating. With that po, salamat po. Have a great day sa inyong lahat at salamat po sa participation. Bye-bye po.
Bye-bye. Thank you din po.
Dali, Romandino.